when people are in a community, their weight loss is like accelerated. They lose more weight when they're doing it together with a community of people versus doing it on their own.
What if it were possible to achieve your goal weight and stay there permanently without dieting? Welcome to the Stop Dieting Forever podcast, where you will discover the key components that most diets won't tell you because they want you to keep coming back. Not here. This is your last stop on the weight loss struggle bus. I am your host, Jennifer Dent Brown, life and weight loss coach, and I am going to show you how to stop dieting forever. Let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, LUXE Lifer, welcome to episode 117. This is your certified life and weight loss coach, Jennifer Dent Brown, from jenniferdent.com, where I love to celebrate the success of my clients virtually and in real life. So recently I hosted a small group of 11 Stop Dieting Forever members in Philadelphia for my very first in-person event. And I called it the VIC LUXE Experience. VIC stands for Very Important Client. And I wanted to capture the energy of the event as we were still all in the afterglow of today. And I wanted to share that with you all. So today you're going to hear from a few of the VICs who attended the event in Philly. You're going to hear what the LUXE Life community means to them. You're going to hear how it's impacted their weight loss journey. And most importantly, you're going to get a taste of why this community is so special. You're actually going to be able to feel the good vibes that these women are radiating as they share their experience. If you're craving a different approach when it comes to weight loss, if you're tired of being in a silo by yourself, trying to follow the plan and do the thing to lose the weight and not being successful, maybe this is what you're missing. Maybe you're missing being part of a community of supportive women who are all working towards the same thing, but they are doing it while they learn to love themselves. And, I think that love just extends naturally to others in the community. There is no hateration going on inside the LUXE Life community. You can experience how losing weight can be fun. I want you to become an official VIC and very important client. And join us and stop dieting forever. Go to jenniferdent.com/stop dieting forever to join the lifestyle membership. But first, listen to this magnetic group discussion, and I swear you're going to feel so much better after listening and laughing with these amazing women. Enjoy, and I will see you in the next episode. Okay. Hey, y'all. So today I have a group of VICs, very important clients. All my clients are important, but this group had a chance to experience something that has been in my head for a while, like a couple of years while, and I called it the VIC LUXE Experience. So it was me kind of beta testing what a live event would be on a small scale with some of the LUXE Lifers. And so we had such a fun time this weekend. I wanted to just capture the energy and the essence of the weekend and the community because everyone here got a chance to meet each other for the first time in person for the most part. Right? I think some of us have maybe seen each other in passing, but as a larger group, we moved off of Zoom and we were able to hug each other in person. So today I just wanted to talk about the community, the LUXE Life community, what it means to you, all the things. So I just want to introduce everyone real quick. We've got Nicolay here, Nicolay Thompson, who's been on the podcast numerous times as a coach and as a client. Veronica was on the podcast and she's here she's here because she was a client, but also because she was a super supportive team member and helping me get a lot of the things that we have now set up, rocking and rolling, the back office stuff. We have Tanya, which I call Tanya more so. I think this is your first time. No, this isn't your first time on the podcast, Tanya, right? Oh, it is. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Tanya's like my day one. She's been in the community, one of my early clients, and she's just always been an essential part of the LUXE Life community. We've got Lorraine Martinez Bellamy here, who is a coach, client, and a coach within Stop Dieting Forever. Ellen McGarrigle, you've been on the podcast before, right? I think you have. Oh, no, maybe you haven't. Okay. First time on the podcast. So Ellen is coming to us as a client. And Maddie Todd, I know this is your first time on the podcast. She's a former one-on-one client. She's now in the very close to the live, like less than 5 pounds away from her forever weight. And we've got Nisha Antoine, who's been on the podcast before, sharing her weight loss experience. She is a LUXE Lifer who is in the live phase, living life at her forever weight. So this is just a small group of the women that all came to Philly to hang out and to experience the VIC LUXE Experience. So let's just start. Let's just have an open conversation and let's just start chatting about what it meant. Like, what did you feel or you thinking when you drove down or walked down Sansom Street and you saw everyone just there? What were your thoughts? Who wants to go first? Go ahead, Tanya.
It was just so exciting. I got to see these women that I've been seeing on Zoom for I don't know how many years, at least 2 years. I think we've been meeting each other on Zoom. And our community is just such a safe place anyway. When we have our group coaching, I never feel like I can't share. So it was just like meeting people that you've seen, just being able to hug them. It was welcoming. I'm still on a high from the whole experience. And Jennifer, you just outdid yourself. You treated us so well. I mean, everything from start to finish. I'm just so grateful for the experience. It's like something that I will never forget.
Oh, I'm so glad you came because we had a bunch of people. You were an out-of-towner that came into Philadelphia to experience Philadelphia in August. So some of my favorite places. Nicolette, you came the farthest from Atlanta. What was your experience in Philly, just meeting everyone?
Well, it was amazing. First of all, just the idea of kind of being feted by you, like you were celebrating us and you're helping us to celebrate us. And we're celebrating the LUXE Life community. So it felt like a weekend away to just celebrate, not work, and that was just amazing. And seeing everybody, like walking into a room and recognizing people whose faces you've seen on Zoom was just awesome. And it's like, I've known them because we've coached and we've chatted and we've commented on each other's posts and stuff. So you feel like you know them and then you meet them. And it's like, we actually do know each other. It was just an amazing feeling. It was well worth the flight. It was well worth the travel.
Yeah, it was fun to celebrate you all because, we're big about celebrating, always teaching LUXE Lifers, like, it's time to celebrate. We got to celebrate. And so I wanted to celebrate your success of what you all have accomplished so far in your lives and with your health, but also like just to celebrate this community because without you guys, there would be no LUXE Life community. There wouldn't be Stop Dieting Forever probably would be out there somewhere, but it wouldn't be part of this weight loss experience. And I think I read some statistic of like when people are in a community, their weight loss is like accelerated or their weight loss is, probably accelerated or they lose more weight. That's what it was when they're doing it together with a community of people versus doing it on their own. Go ahead, Veronica. Did you want to chime in there?
Yes. Like Nicolette, it felt like I knew you guys. And that's what it was. Because, a lot of times you see people on Zoom and it's like, not that you put on your face or whatever, but the vibe is different when you see them in person. And when I got there, it's like not only was I excited to see everybody in person that I hadn't met beforehand, the vibe was the same as what I expected, from the group coaching. It was nice seeing everybody, getting able to hug everybody and not necessarily putting, I'll say, a face to a name, but I guess a vibe to a name. Literally, it was just a feel, an experience. And for me, you know, returning to Philly, I hadn't been to Philly in years. I used to go there as a kid. So coming back, even that was kind of nostalgic for me, experiencing, you know, the city, because I used to go there during the summers. And so experiencing it as an adult was definitely great for me. And to piggyback on Tanya and Nicolay, you really outdid yourself, you know, as far as making us feel special, making us feel important to you. And I just love this group, and it really has helped me in my journey.
You know, Veronica, I had to like create a whole new Slack channel so you wouldn't see the planning happening, because you have all the back end communication. So I had to like, Shannon and I had like secret calls, and it was a lot to try to keep you like off of the radar and not knowing.
007.
007.
Did y'all have an exploding pen?
No, we didn't have an exploding pen.
Yes.
It's exploding with ideas. Our brains
Exactly.
were exploding with ideas.
But it was definitely great. I mean, again, experiencing that side of Philly, because again, when you come as a kid, it's different. But with these group of women, it was just an amazing, amazing experience.
I'm glad y'all got to experience some of my favorite things in the city. So I know some of you had some thoughts, hesitations, worries, potential like, oh, when you got the invitation. Ellen, do you want to share your thoughts?
Yes, I did. Well, I think in the beginning for me, when I first began working with you, my thought was, will I ever get to meet this person? Because it was COVID and you had such an impact on my life. And I'm thinking, will I ever get to see this lady in the flesh? And then when I got more embraced in the community, I was very excited when that invitation came. And I thought, oh my God, like it came true. I'm going to see these people. But then I thought, oh, you can't go. You have like 15 people coming for lunch the next day. You haven't reached your goal weight. You don't look nice in jeans. And I thought, you can't go. And then I thought, no, I'm going to go. I'm going to go because I thought there's no other community or people that I could be with that I would be welcomed, no matter what the number is on the scale, what the jeans look like on my body, or the fact that I have all these people coming. That it's like, no, I'm going to do this. This is what I've learned in the community. And then it's like I'm sitting out there on Sampson Street, and I'm born and raised in the city, but to see like an Uber pull up and people just stepping out of the Uber, I thought this is surreal. And then people just nonchalantly walking down Sampson Street. I'm thinking, I know these people don't live around here. But it was just amazing to me. And the other thing that I thought was so special was it was everything that you've groomed us for and taught us about, like the whole idea to celebrate. I thought this is it. Like we're celebrating ourselves, we're celebrating each other. And I thought, how lucky am I to be able to be a part of this community? I just thought it was wonderful.
I'm so glad you didn't listen to your bratty brain and you decided
I've been trained
to come.
well.
I'm glad I didn't have to coach anyone on like, accept the invitation. Let's come and have some fun. So what about like some of you other guys? Like, what are some of your thoughts? Because I know some of you had to like leave kids, family, hop on a plane. Like it was not just like oh, let me run to Philly real quick type of decision. It was an effort to get here and to spend a couple of days here.
So you made it kind of irresistible. I will say that, because I had a lot going on this summer. I'm in the middle of a renovation. I have a 2-year-old. There's a lot going on. And I remember opening the email, and usually I'm like full on those type of events. And I'm like, can I make this happen? Both Chris and I had a lot of travel this summer where we're leaving one parent with the child and like taking off and going. I'm like, do I want to commit to another weekend? But I really quick like looked up flights, and Frontier had a flight that was literally like irresistible, just like Jennifer's offer to us or invitation. And I was like, I'm going to buy it. And it really was exactly what I needed, because I've just felt like run down because I'm just juggling so much in life. So it was so nice to be in a nice hotel, have no one that needs me, no one calling my name. I could just lay in bed. Jennifer and I had a great spa day on Friday. And it was just so nice to slow down. And also the weather in Philly was like, we could not have ordered better weather for our
that was
weekend.
special delivery for me.
Special delivery.
Because I had no
Jennifer paid
backup
extra
plan
for
for the
that.
outdoor pictures. There was no backup plan. I was like, if the weather is bad, I don't know what's going to happen.
It was so beautiful. It was like 80, sunny and breezy. And it was just so nice to like wander the city. You know, in my 20s and early 30s, I spent like all of that time in cities. So I always feel at home just being able to wander and like grab coffee. And it was just so nice to get away and meet all of you. And like Veronica said, it was like everybody was so the same as they are on Zoom, but it was nice to be able to put a vibe with the person and the face and the name. And I also felt like welcome immediately. I feel like there was no awkwardness. Everybody was just ready to like connect and have a good time and eat good and enjoy ourselves and connect, most importantly.
Yeah, I love that too. Special delivery with the weather for sure. So, being a part of this amazing community, Nisha, you've been in the community for a while. Maddie, you're new-ish, probably about a year or maybe almost a year that you've been.
More than that.
A little bit over a year. Okay. So, Maddie, you're almost close to your forever weight. Like, yeah, it's me, you're there, but I know he's like, I got to see that number on the scale because you look amazing. What has being in this community done for you as far as your weight loss journey? Because you're very consistent about showing up for coaching and you're pretty active in the group as well. So how has that helped you?
Yeah, to the best of my ability. And you made a comment earlier about how maybe something you read or some statistic you saw that people who are in a group tend to lose more weight or lose weight faster than people who are doing it on their own. Well, I agree with that 100%. I mean, the support, realizing that you're not the only one with these issues that you think you have, and, being able to actually freely express how you feel about what you're experiencing and getting all the feedback and the support from the group. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's like nothing else. I have actually embarked on such encounters on my own before without the support of the community, and it has totally been different. So yeah, having this community has been great. It's like the greatest asset on a journey like this, community.
Yeah. I love that. That's so good. So good. I know Nisha, I was trying to think like Nisha's been in the community like before we had this particular community. I think you might have been part of my free Facebook group I had a couple of years ago. You've seen a lot of different iterations. You've seen people come, you've seen people go. What's from your perspective, like what do you think is different now about this current community of LUXE Lifers that I've created?
I definitely feel more connected to this group of women. I don't know if it's because of some of the changes that you've implemented in terms of how we kind of connect with each other, but I feel like this group of women, and I think someone said it before, it's like I already felt like I knew them and they were friends. It was just awesome to be in a space with other like-minded women. Like we're all professionals. We all have our families to deal with, friends, just jobs, all of that. But just knowing that you have this group of women who kind of understands exactly what you're going through is extremely helpful. So I think just the incorporation of just us being able to see each other and be face to face is super helpful in this journey.
Yeah, I think the bond comes, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it comes from just like interacting with one another on the group coaching calls and sharing and participating in the group. And it's so funny that that's like how everyone is connecting because I tend to be that person when I join a group. I'm just kind of the watcher. I'm the observer. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. That's nice. Like I'll come to the call. I don't really participate. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like the LUXE Life magic. People feel they come to the call, they feel open to discuss. And I think Tanya mentioned it, because it's such a safe space, you don't feel like something that you say or share is going to be like broadcasted or it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. Would you guys agree about, I guess, the synergy that happens during a coaching call?
I would agree. I think this is definitely a very understanding group. I always go back to Nicolay and her give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. When I first experienced that, it was like a light bulb moment for me. It made me feel that even if I'm not willing to share, if I was willing to share certain things, that I wouldn't be judged for it. Because, a lot of time in your weight loss journey, oh my God, I can't believe you ate that bag of chips. You're trying to lose 20 pounds. I feel safe in doing that. And I even had the thought, I think, coming and preparing, like, how am I going to eat for my weight loss coach? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's Jennifer. It was a fleeting thought, I must admit. You know what I'm saying? How am I going to enjoy myself? When I say I enjoy the food, I enjoy the food, because you taught us that, we can eat what we want. We can decide. And I plan for it, so using the tools even to come to an event like this and knowing that I can give myself grace. I can give myself compassion, and it's okay. And I'm not going to be judged, but you've created a great space in those group coaching calls. And I think also, to Maddie's point, knowing that people struggle with the same thing, like literally, even though I've gained weight, there are people that have gained weight, they're going to lose it back. I have a community to go back that can say, hey girl, whatever, you gained 10 pounds, whatever, forget it. Just like you gained it, you can lose it. But the focus is not on just losing. It's about understanding why it happened and having the tools to, make sure, or not necessarily make sure it doesn't happen, but to deal with it better if it were to happen again.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm so glad I didn't have to coach anybody on what to eat. Like, we're here, we're celebrating. The food it was amazing. And I know some of you out of towners, make sure you went and got your cheesesteaks. When in Philadelphia, go get your, as Tanya says, steak and cheese. He was corrected many times.
Yeah. Yeah. For a fleeting moment, I thought about that and I was like, well, this is Jennifer. She's going to eat her burgers and stuff like that. So let me not even focus on this.
Yeah. But I didn't want you all to be like, oh, I can't eat, right? Or I feel self-conscious about eating. And I'm so glad that the mindset work that we've done on eating socially, eating when you're going out, like Veronica said, you plan for it ahead of time. It actually works. It works. Go ahead, Nisha.
I just wanted to add that I think with this group, like just more recently, it's always been very difficult for me to be vulnerable, but I appreciate the fact that I have actually been able to open up about some things that I don't really feel comfortable talking about with a lot of people. And it just really is a safe space. And then hearing other people's stories, like Veronica said, is just super helpful. So that's something that has surprised me in myself, is the vulnerability and being able to just open up and talk about some of the things that I've been really struggling with. And more than weight, those things come up more than weight. So this is just a really exceptional group.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Nisha, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to do 3 different group coaching calls for the 3 people in the 3 different phases. Because when you're in live, like there's this other stuff that's happening, right? When you're in maintenance, life gets real lifey. And so you want to be able to have a place where you can talk about, not necessarily like, oh, I overate on the weekend, which is what maybe somebody in Learn is struggling with. But it's like, look, my boss is driving me nuts, or my team members are driving me nuts. Like, I don't know how to handle it. And it's nice to be able to like come to that place, that safe space, have that discussion, get that coaching that you need. And it's not taking away from anyone else. Go ahead, Nicolay.
Yeah. What the VIC weekend did for me was encourage me to re-engage more with the group. Over the past a little under a year, I think, as my life got lifey, I did my typical Nicolay thing and just withdrew from everything. And getting the invite was just amazing. And being with all of you ladies and feeling as though we just picked up right where we left off was really good. And it's like, oh yeah, the community is here for a reason, just to re-engage more. Like I pop in from time to time, or I look on a few posts from time to time, but it's like, yeah, these are your people, and these will always be your people. And that's what that weekend did for me. It was a great reconnection and encouragement for me.
I love that. It makes me so happy. I also saw that Marcella posted in the group that she's lost 2 pounds since the event. I'm like, just getting reconnected, right? Because same thing, like people do get disengaged, life gets lifey, but we're here. I love that you brought that up. Tanya.
I just wanted to add that I think part of the community that you have created is because of your energy and kind of like what you lend as a coach. And I can see like that educator side of you, because I'm a teacher, teach the kindergarten babies. And anyway, when you first engage us, when we had boot camps, I always would watch you or listen to you coach and hear how you called every person by name. And you always just made us, to me, I always felt like special, and that you were making other people feel special because you would just constantly like re-engage us and say, oh, hey, so-and-so, how are you? And we got to hear our name. So I think like the community also is because that you kind of set that feeling. You gave us that vibe where it's like, we know that you care about us. And I always laugh because I think that, as our coach, like what each person needs. So even though we're working on our goal as a collective, you think about each person. Well, I know this person, like, our stories, our individual stories. So you might say like, I'm not going to coach this person in this way. I know that I can come at this person and give them this advice. So I think that that's like also a strength of our group, what you lend to us as a leader. And it's your leadership that has made it a safe place for all of us.
Yeah, I definitely got that from my dad. Yeah, that's like one of his things that he's known for as a pastor. He knew all of his flock by name. He calls everybody, he still does. He calls everyone on their birthdays. He knows their families. He knows their stories. And so that was just the example set by my dad for me. So thank you for saying that, because this is something I don't know, I just do because I feel like it's the right thing to do. And I had a conversation with a friend who joined the community or joined the membership. And she's like, I'm just astounded by like the people here. Like, you created this. You created this. And I'm like, what do you mean I created it? I was like, these are just like my clients. Like, I'm just coaching. She's like, no, I've been in other groups. She's like, you created this. And she kept asking me, and she's like, she's a coach. How did you create this? How did you create this? And so now it is very intentional that as the group gets bigger, to still have that connection with people. Because right now, Tanya's been with me since day one, where, I was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching. I think I coached with a lot of you one-on-one. And we, you do build that rapport with your clients. But in a group setting, it does take another level of effort to create that connection as a coach, and then make sure that they feel connected to the community and everyone else. Whew, all right. Y'all was going to make me cry for a minute. I'm holding it in. All right. So what else? What else should we talk about?
That amazing food, though.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the food, please. I think I talked about Wilder on the podcast, because y'all know, anytime I have really good food in Philly or wherever, I will shout out the restaurant on the podcast. And I went to Wilder before for a friend's birthday party. I wanted to go back to Wilder, one, because the space is beautiful. And I knew we could have a private room. And the food that I had at the birthday party was great, but we were doing brunch. And brunch is my favorite meal. If I'm going to go out to eat, I love to go out to brunch, but I'm very particular about brunch. Like, if the omelet or the eggs aren't cooked perfectly, if I see any little bit of brown, I'm very disappointed. So I'd never been to Wilder for brunch, but I was like crossing my fingers. I'm like, everything else has been working out pretty well. We're just going to assume that the brunch menu is going to be good. And I think someone asked me, like, did you pick out the brunch menu? And I was like, I don't think I did. I think Shannon picked it out, but the food was, I keep saying amazing. I can't think of any other word. It was spectacular.
Yeah, I had the chilaquiles, and they were better than the ones I've had in Mexico. So they have somebody very good. cooking back there. They were delicious.
And the bacon was amazing. I mean,
Oh,
for
wasn't
me,
it?
the right thickness, the right crisp. It's like me and bacon. That's always been my breakfast go-to. So you do bacon right, you got my vote.
Yeah, it was, and I hadn't had bacon in a long time. It was like very tasty. I was like, oh, this is good bacon. Good.
I made it my personal mission to taste like almost everything that was on the table.
Same here.
Yeah.
What was
Like
your
to have a little-
favorite?
Oh my gosh. I think it would have to be that pancake. I don't remember the
Oh, it was like a Dutch pancake. That was
oh
good.
my gosh. And I'm not a pancake person, but it wasn't too sweet. It was loaded, but it wasn't heavy. It was just perfect. It really, really was. But everything was good. I had an egg white omelet. It was egg whites, right? With kale and goat cheese. And that was yummy. And everything else was perfection. And the wait staff made us feel special
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was great.
I wanted to talk about the staff in general. I thought that everyone that was a part of that day, I felt was handpicked. The staff at the spa, the people at the restaurant, the photographers, the makeup people, all of that. Like, they were unbelievable. I thought that everybody was on the same vibe as far as what was going on. They were caught up in what they were seeing and how they could be a part of it. I was just so impressed with everyone that we came in touch with.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Ellen. I'm going to put all the vendors, their links in the show notes. But to tell y'all what we did, because we've been talking about the experience. So Friday, some of you all came in early and flew in. And so a few of us stayed at the Logan Hotel in Logan Square. And like Lorraine and I did the spa. I had an amazing massage. I think Lorraine's was good too. It was like an 80-minute massage. I didn't even know there was a spa downstairs, and it was really nice. We sat in the relaxation room, and the woman that helped us was just so genuine when she realized that we were like, right? She was like asking a lot of questions. So the service there was great. And then the next day, we met everyone and we went to brunch at Wilder at I think 20th and Sampson. And it's a newer restaurant in Philly. Space is amazing. The decor is beautiful. Food is great. Tim was our server. I was like, you did a great job, Tim, managing 12 cackling ladies drinking mimosas. The food was hot. Everything was fresh. Even the fruit salad, y'all. The blueberries, strawberries, the bananas, and the cut up pears. Like, there were no little moldy blueberries. The stems were removed from the blueberries. Yes, Maddie's laughing because I am that, like, I'm not picky. I don't like that stuff at home. I don't want to pay for it when I go out. So the fruit salad was amazing. And then we all had brunch and we took some photos. We did the group photo in the street. So you all will begin to see, like, who are these women with Jennifer? We did the confetti cannon. That was fun. And then we went next door to see my girl, Twana, who is the owner of A-List Skin and Lash Studio. I spend a lot of time with Twana. She does all of my facials. She does my lashes, my brows. So I love her to death. So when we started talking about what can we do, I was like, I want to do something for my clients. She came up with this like idea of like, let's do 30-minute mini spa services and we can have like food. And she had Prosecco there and she's got a great space too. And it was just a really, really just nice place to relax and connect with everyone. And then some of us had chair massages. I walked by, I saw Nisha getting her whole head rubbed. You guys were coming out of that massage room like, oh, I was like, what's happening in there? Some of us had dermaplaning facials. Some people had their eyebrows shaped and tinted. Maddie, I think you had the lash extension kiss. So like little enhancements for your lashes. It was just fun. It was like girly. There was a lot of laughing. We had a chance to talk and just sit around. And it was just, and everybody then took photos. So DJ Donald Johnson was our photographer. everybody had a chance to take individual photos outside. And again, the weather was beautiful. DJ did a great job with the photos. And we also had Darius Baker from Baker Productions, who was part of the crew. He was a videographer and he did all of the video testimonials that you all will see. So it was just like, I think, who was this saying about the energy? Oh, Ellen. It was because we were having vendor meetings beforehand. And I was just like, I like the energy here. I was like, I like his energy. I like his vibe. So I just felt like everything about this whole experience, I always like to say, was divinely inspired, but God definitely had his hand in it because you could feel it just even in the planning of it. And so I'm
Don't forget your wonderful makeup artist.
Oh, Tanisha. Yes, Tanisha came in. She came through in the cut because the other girl that I had, she couldn't make it. She had a family emergency. So I met Tanisha at another friend's photo shoot, and she did such an amazing job. Full-time makeup artist. She travels. And so she was like, I was like, come hang out with us for the day. And like, and she was like, sure, like whatever you need. And she came and we moved her from this place to that place. She went with the flow. She never complained. She was happy to be around all of you. And even the staff at A-List, when I talked to them, they were like, these people, they're so happy to be. It's just like, she kept saying the community. Everybody kept talking about the community. And I was like, yeah, this is the LUXE Life community. So, and it's so funny because, I mean, I think now they know what I do, but before I don't think they really understood what I did as a coach. And so now they get it. And now there's like lots of questions. So yes, thank you for reminding me about Tanisha.
Yeah. And your mentee did a great job of letting us know where we needed to be.
Yes. And I had Yvonne. So
yes, Yvonne was great.
Yvonne is my mentee, although she's 36 now. But when she was in high school, I used to mentor her. And she works at a big company in Philly. And I was like day of coordination, because y'all know my ADHD brain would not have been like trying to deal with all the logistics and the timing and stuff. And she was like, oh, sure. And I was like, well, I can pay you this much. And she was like, absolutely not. She's like, I will not let you pay me for this. She's like, I'm doing it because I want to. So just, that right there was just part of, I feel like, the energy, and everybody was just there to celebrate and have a good time, and just all got behind the mission of the VIC LUXE Experience. Did I miss anyone? I got everybody, right?
Hey, Jennifer, can I say something?
Yeah.
So you talked about we took pictures, and I just want to let everyone know it was a little bit more than that. Like, it was a mini photo shoot for for each of us. But no, I just hadn't had pictures of myself taken in quite some time. And so it was just really nice to kind of, be in that moment, kind of be the star of your own little show. And then when I saw the pictures, I was just like, wow, they just really looked awesome in that short period of time. And I had so much fun doing it. Like, I had brought stuff with me, not really thinking I was going to use it. But when I realized what was happening, I was like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity to kind of really have some fun with this. So I just enjoyed that. I mean, you just called it some pictures, but I just wanted to clarify that you gave each of us like our own little special moment with the photographer. And that was it was such a nice touch as well.
Good.
I wanted to add that the feeling continued. Like, it was one thing to get there and to do all that, and then a few days lapse, and then these pictures arrive. And you're looking at these pictures and you're like right back in the thick of it again. And you look at yourself and it's like, well, I didn't think I could look like that. And look how happy I was. And it was amazing.
Look at Ellen in those jeans.
Yes. And Jennifer, you know how I feel about pictures. When I saw them, I was like, wow, these look really nice. Because I am not a picture person. I was like, these are amazing. And I've never done professional pictures. I mean, because of the fact that I don't like it. But I mean, it definitely encouraged me to definitely look into that option of doing that. Especially, since I'm, wanted to go into business, great professional photos are great. They're a necessity. I sent them to Cherie and my niece, and Cherie was like, well, I call her TT's pom pom. She was like, she said, wow. I said, well, I felt the same way when I saw that person in that folder. Like, who is she?
That's how my family was, because when I first got them, I was with my youngest daughter and she's like, oh my God. And all the kids are texting me and I'm thinking, how did they see these pictures? And she said, oh, I sent them to everyone. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even see all of them. But the look was like, oh, wow, look at mom. It's like, she's a real person.
You guys look like you were having so much fun. I don't know what like the cues that Donald with DJ was giving you, but you all look like you were having so much fun taking those photos.
Well, I had to tell him I had never done it, had no idea. And he was suggesting poses. And as soon as my family saw me, it's like, oh, look at mom.
And my mom.
My mom. They didn't see it yet.
Oh, the grandkids didn't see it. Go ahead, Nicolay.
I think that us doing the pictures together helped those of us who were reticent about taking pictures, right? The group shot was great for that. And then we were encouraging each other, go do the photo shoot. And like Jade was with me when I was doing mine. I stayed when she was doing hers. And I think that just kind of helped. And looking back at the pictures, you see that happiness. And Ellen, you glowed for the whole day. Like, I've seen you so often on group coaching calls, but seeing you up close, like seeing Ellen on Zoom, it's like, oh, this is a beautiful lady. But oh my God, seeing her in person, she's like, she is stunning. And the glow. When you smile, your whole face lights up. And that was what it was like, just seeing everybody.
And she was smiling the whole time.
The whole time. There was this joy. And that's what was happening with everyone. There was this joy exuding from everyone. And you saw the personalities and all of that came through in the photos.
Yeah, I love that. So good. So good. So this is just the first. This is the first event. I have lots of ideas. And so now I kind of have a blueprint of what a client experience looks like for us, because I didn't want to do a typical, like, all right, you guys, let's come to a really nice location and stay in a conference room the whole time and workshop. I don't want to do that because I've done that before. I wanted really to create an experience. I wanted to create an expansion experience because I mentioned before, my coach invited me in May. We went to Palm Springs for a week, and that experience was so expansive for me. I wanted to create kind of the same thing. So I was like, I'm going to do something for my clients and bring them here to Philly so they can experience some of my favorite things that I love, including all the little stuff in the gift thingies. What do you call those? Makeup bags, tech bags. I like my name on
tried
stuff.
The stone thing Saturday night while I was just like laying in bed watching a movie. And I really liked it, especially it's very good at releasing the tension, like in between your eyebrows and like in your jaw. So I love that thing.
Yes. I have to send you all a video of like all the different ways you can use it, like on your neck, hit that what is it, vagus nerve?
That's what I pulled up a YouTube of somebody just doing like a beginner's thing, and I just followed what she was doing.
It feels good down your shoulder. It feels amazing. So, all right. Any last words as we all close out about the community, being a LUXE Lifer, why this is the best community on the planet for weight loss? And the other thing I just want to mention real quick as I'm thinking about, yes, this is a community for weight loss, but it is really so much more. Like, you come because you want to lose weight, but you stay because you want to create the lifestyle. You want to keep the friendships. You want to do it along with people that you know and that you respect and admire. So does anyone have any?
I have words for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was such a demonstration of how generous a coach you are with your time and your attention to each of us. And I think when you were talking about the community and people's reaction to it when they first come into it, it reminded me of a coaching session I had with a client recently where I was trying to explain to her that the fact that she really cares about people is really like the number one asset to her professionally right now in senior corporate leadership, because that's what we're moving towards, is a relationship-based way of doing business. And it does not come naturally to everyone. And I think for those of you that it does come naturally, you kind of like, I don't know, like wave it off, like, isn't everybody like this? And no, not everybody cares deeply about other humans, you know? And I can even say for myself, like, I have to remember I'm just a very in my head person and very rational person. So I have to remember to add those additional touches, and it comes so naturally to you. I mean, I've told you this before, but you are the first coach that I worked with that is just so generous with everything you provide us, the resources, the time, how you remember what's going on in each of our lives or what went on last month or what we were working through. And this event was just kind of like another way of showing how much you actually care about each of us. And we felt so luxurious, which I was 100% here for, but it all comes from the love that you have for each of your clients. So thank you.
You're welcome. That was the goal, for y'all to feel the love. And can I just say that you all are showing love to the newest members because they just joined the Facebook group. And one woman posted, she was like, I'm usually very shy in group settings like this. She said, but you all seem very welcoming. And I'm like, we are. Go ahead, Nisha.
No, I think Lorraine captured what I really wanted to say to you. Like, I know the VIC LUXE experience was you showing your appreciation to us as your clients. And I do want to acknowledge that I am grateful to have been picked because I felt extremely special. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you for that. Ellen and I were talking about that when we were leaving the event. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate, and I think I can speak for all of us, how much we appreciate you. You have a gift, honest to God, and I am just lucky to have found you. Yeah, I know I'm going to cry too. I mean, it's so interesting how people come into your lives, and sometimes it's for what they say, a season, a reason, a lifetime, whatever that reason is. I am just really grateful to have met you, to have you in my life, and to be a part of this community and to know these other women. This has been the best gift that I've ever given myself. So thank you.
And I'm glad you finally gave it to yourself, Nisha. Because remember,
Me too.
it took you like a year or so, but we got it. But thank you. I'm about to go into ugly cry. We're not doing that today. We are not doing that today, but I do appreciate the kind words. I appreciate all of you so much. And again, this is just me contributing to y'all, taking my gift and my talent to contribute to you guys so you can contribute to your people, to your kids, to your coworkers, to your families, to your besties, even showing up to be the best dog mom there is, right? So thank you all for taking the time out today for, just sharing the afterglow with the bigger community, and hopefully people who are listening who really are looking for a different weight loss experience find that this might be just what they're looking for. So we welcome you. Come join us in the LUXE Life community. If you liked today's episode of the Stop Dieting Forever podcast and you want to learn more about creating a lifestyle instead of following a diet to lose weight permanently, be sure to visit jenniferdent.com. There, you'll learn more about my unique weight loss process and how it can work for you. Go to jenniferdent.com to discover what you can do to stop dieting forever.